I don't know how humans, let alone animals, survive this. I need water. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us on another Sandia Mountain Natural History Center quick trip. Summertime is hot, but that doesn't mean our outdoor adventures have to stop. Animals are out all the time, all through the summer. So today's video, we're going to talk about how you can better prepare for the summer heat and how we can learn how to prepare for the heat from our animal friends. Let's get started. A hat with a good wide brim made of a light breathable material, sunglasses, and obviously sunscreen. Usually about an SPF 30 is going to be good enough, but you might be thinking, well, animals don't wear sunglasses. Well, they do have, certain animals in the desert have very thick eyelashes, heavy eyebrows, hair on their ears, and all those things are designed to help beat the sun, to stay out of the sunlight so they don't get burned. So did I get it? Did I get it all? Oh, looks like I missed a little bit. Thanks for the heads up. Of course, another way to beat the summer heat would be to hike at night. A lot of animals do that. These are obviously called nocturnal animals. So animals like raccoons and skunks. Or if you're not comfortable hiking at night, you could be crepuscular. Those would be animals that come out at dawn and dusk. Creatures like coyotes and things like that. It's one way to beat the heat. If you're hiking in the desert, water is obviously a major concern. So one way to alleviate the problem of having to carry a lot of water is to hike near water. But I know you're saying it wouldn't be a desert if it had a lot of water, and you're absolutely right. So the general rule of thumb is a liter for about every hour that you're hiking. So we're on like a 2-hour hike. I got 2 liters of water right here. Now, Paul, we don't ever see any animals carrying around canteens. How do they do it? Well, there's all different ways that animals have adapted to hot, dry environments. Desert tortoises, for example, they can store water. Kangaroo rats, they never drink. They get all their liquid from the foods that they eat. Or animals like pronghorn sheep, they have special nostrils that maintain moisture. So there's all kinds of different ways that animals conserve water to live in this hot, dry environment. Here in New Mexico, a lot of us keep our homes cool in the summer by using evaporative cooling. That's the idea of air moving over a wet surface. That evaporation will make it cooler. Well, the same principle can be applied on a hike. What you want to do is get your bandana out, and if you're lucky enough to be near a water source, you can use that water source. If you're not, a little water out of your water bottle will go a long way. But wet that bandana, and then you're going to drape it over your head. Now, a lot of animals actually do this. We've seen bears at the Sandia Mountain Natural History Center do that. Obviously, the water is cool, but it keeps them cool for quite a while. by putting that bandana on. Well, they don't put a bandana on. They have their fur wet. But you put that bandana on, and probably for the next hour or so, I'll stay cool. I know we're talking a lot about desert survival and how to hike and how animals survive in the desert, but I thought it would be important to show this is what a real desert oasis looks like. It's not palm trees with sand right up to it. Maybe that's how it is in parts of the world, but this is a real New Mexico oasis. We're at the bottom of a canyon here in Bluewater Lake State Park, and this is what water does to a desert. Might seem like an obvious one, but if you're out in the middle of the desert, if you can, you got to find some shade. Animals, you don't find them out in the middle of the day. Their shade is things like burrows underground, like rabbits and rodents and even snakes use burrows underground. I have found some very important shade right here, even though it's only about 6 inches of shade. This is the wall of Casamero, Pueblo, a Chacoan outlier out here between Grants and Gallup, New Mexico.
Archaeologists have excavated a lot of this Pueblo in the 1960s and 70s. They found about 22 ground floor rooms and about 6 second story rooms, as well as a small kiva that we're right near. They think there's also a grand kiva somewhere here that's unexcavated. And there was a great house built here in the 11th century. So they believe this area was used by a farming community and that people would live more around the area and come in here for religious and social gatherings. There's a lot of communities like this all throughout this area. We're in an area called Tecolote Canyon, and behind me here you can see those two kind of alcoves in the rock that are believed to have looked like owl eyes, and Tecolote means owl. So that's where the area gets its name. The buildings have very intricate rock work. It's known for that. And it's similar to, and it is done by people that are connected with the larger Chacoan world that was all throughout this region. It's now a complete video. We're walking toward the canyon wall and came across some coyote scat, and it looks like this coyote had a nice meal of some sort of furry animal. There's a lot of fur in it. There's bits of bone. It looks like there might even be some shiny bits of beetles or something like that.
One of the methods that people find strange for beating the heat is wearing loose, breathable, long-sleeved clothing. And they think like, well, isn't that trapping the heat in? But in hot, dry, arid environments like New Mexico, it's really the sun that we're trying to beat. I can see maybe in a humid environment where that would trap heat in, but in these hot, dry environments, keeping the sun off is going to help you keep a little bit cooler.